Have you ever been trying to work on yourself, but no matter what tips you try, it's just not working out for you? Well, don't worry, because in this video, I got you covered. I'm going to be giving you some of the hygiene mistakes that you may be making that you can cut out today and see an instant difference by tomorrow. There's also going to be a few useful tips and tricks in there, so make sure you stick around to the end. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first tip, which is going to be overspraying your cologne. Now, we talked about cologne a little bit here on the channel, but we haven't really talked about how much you should really be spraying, which at first I thought was common sense until I really started studying the cologne game online and shit and realizing some people really don't know how to apply it. And if I'm being honest, I low-key don't either. I'm gonna just be transparent. I feel like that helps us grow the channel and our connection. I think I started to get it down to the point where I'm getting compliments consistently. I'm smelling good when I leave out the house. Just a little tips for starters. Make sure to read your cologne bottle before anything to know what type of cologne you have. Parfums, those are the oil-based. Those typically last a lot longer. You don't need as many sprays of these. Under parfums, there's eau de cologne and there's eau de toilette. And I think there might be a fourth one that I'm forgetting right now. If there is, comment it below. Point being, those are not as strong. Some of those are water. Some have good projection, some don't. Every cologne is obviously different. With weaker colognes, it's not as crazy to wear a few extra sprays, maybe like 5 sprays. It obviously depends on the projection. These parfums, some of them you don't even really need more than 3. Like if it's a really good cologne, you get 3 sprays max on your pulse points, you're good to go. Some of y'all will just get colognes, you get them as a gift for Christmas or your birthday, and you don't realize it. You just want to make sure you smell good when you leave the house, so you get to put it all over, put it on your clothes. You ain't got to do all that. Hit the pulse points, right? Your wrist, in between your elbow. Put it on like your neck, like kind of this area right here behind your ear, boom. Some people put it on the back of their neck. Some people put it on their Adam's apple right here. And then obviously you hit your chest right there, you're set. Now sometimes, I can't lie, I want it to stick. Sometimes in the winter, I do be putting the cologne on my clothes. I ain't even gonna hold you. But we're gonna talk about why you shouldn't be doing that a little bit later in the video. And also, don't be afraid to spray it more than once. If you're doing one spray, kind of just doing yourself a disservice. There is honestly no point in spraying it. It's not gonna last long. No one's gonna smell it. It's gonna have no projection. You wanna give it a few sprays so that way it has a chance to actually sit in, settle, and then, start projecting. While we're on that topic of the little smell good, let's go ahead and get into the next tip, skipping deodorant. This is a very crucial step that I cannot afford any of you to miss. Please, please, make sure you're putting on deodorant. The reason I make these videos, the reason why I put so much emphasis on talking about certain tips is because I've been there. I was a teenager and I wasn't locked in. I know what it's like to get bullied for smelling like shit. Yeah. You don't get to where I'm at today without paying your dues, my nigga. Even if you do put on deodorant and you had that one day where you forgot, you know what that feeling is like when you don't got deodorant on. You already know you stink. You be on a bus like this, your armpits closed and shit like that. So that means everybody else know you stink. Don't be hesitant to even keep an extra deodorant in your bag. Make sure you putting that deodorant on. Your armpits stinking. Every other hygiene tip, it's all out the window. It don't matter because you fucking stink. These spots right here, they're hot, building up bacteria, just sitting there, just ready to just project stink the second you go like this. You go out to reach for a hug, bro. GG. You have the cologne on, right? We just talked about the cologne. You going for the hug because that's the whole point. You put it in like this. They won't get a whiff of this part of your arm right here, but the second they get in here, they get in tight, they get in close, you're fried. Do not skip this step. If there's anything you're gonna take for this video, honestly, y'all know I talk about this in every hygiene video, and there's a reason. Because it's that important. I'm in college, and there are people who still make this mistake on a daily basis. I be on the shuttle, right? The bus, riding the campus. What do you do? Nigga next to me, standing up, right? Holding his arm like this. We smell you, nigga. I don't know who I'm reaching with this video, but every time I say it, I'm hoping that I'm reaching at least one person who's skipping deodorant. Fuck that, oh, I'm on that all natural shit. I don't need deodorant. Put it on. But for the next tip, I want to do a little bit of a backtrack because earlier I was talking about not spraying cologne on your clothes. But for this next tip, I want to talk about why it's so important to make sure you're keeping your clothes clean. You should be doing laundry. It's not ridiculous to be doing it twice a week. At minimum, once a week. Just do it Sunday. You go through your week of outfits, reset the week. That's perfectly fine. Make sure you're washing your clothes in between wears. That mindset of like, oh, I wore this shirt, I barely sweated. We don't want that. The germs, the bacteria is sitting on there. If you went out in public, like for me, like I said, I'd be riding the bus. If I wore a shirt, sat on the bus, right, and those dirty ass seats probably been cleaned in how long? Why would I put that shirt on again? It's not clean. You may not see it, but that shirt is not clean. That's not how that works. So you gotta make sure you wash it in between. The only bonus points I'm gonna give y'all, I'll turn away, is pants. If you know, you know. Niggas know. If you got a really solid jeans, you feel me? They got a good pants rotation. We get a little flexible with the pants, you feel me? Still gotta wash them. But also like the whole thing with the cologne is like, whenever you spray the cologne on there, cologne sticks, especially if you have the parfum one. It's gonna have that cologne smell on it. You're trying to wear that same shirt with a different cologne. It's gonna clash and it's not gonna smell good. It's gonna have that lingering like used smell. It's It's not worth it. If you ever gone thrifting before and you know how clothes all have that like used, washed and mass smell, just imagine that's what your shirt smells like if you aren't washing it in between wears. That's the best way I could put it. So while we're on the topic of laundry, not only is it important to be washing your clothes, but making sure you washing your sheets and bedding too. That's just as important, if not more important than washing your clothes. Actually, I don't know. Let's just put them at the same. Let's not say which is more important because they're both equally important. You may not realize it, but if you're not consistently washing your sheets every week, you're not gonna smell how you think you do. You having that bed just sitting there and you not washing it, it's really easy to think that you can go a long period without having to wash your sheets, but you really gotta stay on top of that because it's dirt and filth sitting up on there, getting up on your pajamas, then it's getting up on your skin, getting up in your hair, especially if you're not wearing a bonnet or something to protect your hair. It's all piling up, it's adding up, you feel me? So you wanna make sure washing your sheets, your blankets, everything that you got on your bed, pillowcases, all that, once a week, get them clean, especially if you having ladies over. Like, I'm not saying that they stink, but I'm just saying you got someone else over in your bed, clean the fucking bed after. I'm not even talking about y'all doing whatever, the devil's tango, but you know, after they leave, you should probably get them sheets clean. So the next tip, we're going to talk about something that you also shouldn't be keeping in use for a long time without changing it out. And that's going to be your towel. You're using your towel to dry off your body when it's wet, so all that moisture is sinking up and building in that towel. After a while, that towel is really getting extremely nasty. It's not crazy to go through multiple towels a week if you're showering, you know, 2 times a day, because that towel going through dumb use, building it up every freaking time you shower, and that bacteria is getting on there. You need to be changing out your towel. A lot of guys don't even have multiple towels, believe it or not. If you don't have, you know, multiple towels that you can go through within a week, try and get more towels, but if you can't, put it in the washer real quick, dry it. Getting it fresh out of the dryer, that's a little Chico too right there. That'd be having you feel good when you put on a hot towel, you feel me? And also, random side note, but I've been seeing on TikTok, niggas was talking about V's be spraying cologne on his towel before you rub it on his body. Can somebody confirm if that works or make a difference? Please, I'm interested. Me personally, in my head, I don't think that makes any sense, because one thing about cologne is when you rub it, the nodes in the cologne start to break and like the formula gets fucked up. So I don't see how spraying it on that towel and then putting it on your body would make a difference. But please, by all means, y'all let me know, educate me. But while we're on the topic of showering, that's actually gonna lead into our next topic, which is gonna be not showering properly. Now, granted, I already know what comment you're thinking up in your head, you know, doing all that extra double cleansing and shit like that. That's for girls, whatever, what you do. I'm not saying you even gotta do all that. But if you are using 3-in-1 shampoo, body soap, conditioner, I think we have a fucking problem here. And I know there's some people who aren't gonna admit it, but it's gonna hit home for someone who's watching this video. If we're using Head and Shoulders still, there's a problem. It be some of y'all who be using body soap in your hair. I know someone behind the camera is doing that. Whatever you're doing in the shower is your business, but if you want to be making sure you have your hygiene on 10, just make sure to follow the few simple steps of properly cleaning yourself. Get a nice little antibacterial soap to make sure to kill off all the germs. Get something that also hydrates your skin, especially if you have drier skin. You want to make sure when you're getting out the shower, you actually are hydrated and clean. Look, this is another thing I know y'all doing, but y'all putting the soap just in your bare hand, and that's how you're applying soap on your body. Stop doing that. Do not do that. Get a proper exfoliating tool. It can be as simple as a washcloth. A washcloth is not my first choice. Your hand, I promise you, is not getting you as clean as you think. Shampoo and conditioner, of course. Make sure you find something that works for your hair that actually cleans it out. You know, we all have different hair types, and you know, some people, they got dandruff and buildup and things like that, so you don't want to strip out your natural oils. So make sure to take time to invest and look into what you're putting into your hair and on your skin, of course. The next hygiene mistake I see some guys making is going to be forgetting oral hygiene. It's really not too much to say. Mouthwash, brush your teeth, whether niggas want to admit it or not. I'm really just calling y'all out today. Not even just y'all, but it's niggas in general. A lot of people who's not on game, not getting up, brushing y'all teeth every single morning, getting the mouthwash every single morning. Mouth cancer is a thing. Gum-like infections is really preventative of all those different things. And on top of that, you don't want to be going up to somebody and talking to them and then your breath all hot, you feel me? Especially in the morning, fresh off the wake up, it get really scary hours. But I ain't really got to say too much about that. So make sure, you know, you just staying on top of that. While we on the topic of oral health, you feel me? We're just gonna stay around that area, that region. Dry lips. Even myself, I'm a victim of this. But y'all have even called me out in the comments for having dry lips. And I appreciate y'all for that, because that means y'all good people. That means y'all not L-man. Because if y'all let me go out in the street like that with dry lips, that means we not cool for real. You don't want to be going out there and you speaking to somebody and your lips look like they're about to crack. If it gets so bad to the point where your lips start bleeding, don't want that. Vaseline, Aquaphor, Blistex, whatever you need to use to make sure your lips are hydrated, go ahead and put that on. Little tip, I like to put on Vaseline before I go to sleep because it hydrates my lips throughout the night. And I like to use Aquaphor throughout the day. I already know there's some guy thinking in his head, man, putting that shit on your lips is, oh, it's gay, whatever, what do you do? If you think going out there and just licking your lips is the remedy to dry lips, I promise you, that's not how that works. Now for the last tip, I was low-key dreading this one because my nails are not really upkept right now. But one thing you want to do is making sure you're upkeeping fingernails. Make sure you're upkeeping your fingernails. I'm not saying you have to go out there and do clear coat, because I know some people have mixed feelings about that. me personally, I do it and it gets me compliments, and honestly I like the way it looks. You can still achieve a very clean look without having to put clear coat or nothing on your nails. Keeping them trim, filing them if you want to have like a very like clean shape to them. This is all stuff you can do at home for literally less than $10. It's a very cheap thing that goes a long way. There's niggas who real life have like long ass nails and that should be looking crazy, dude. They be looking like they have claws on their hands, bro. To me, like having long nails like that is just, I don't fuck with that. I can't fuck with that. But with that being said, it's gonna bring me to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys aren't making the mistakes that are in this video, but just in case you are making one of them, it's never too late to correct them. That's why I made this video, just in case there's something on the list you might have missed. It's a perfect time to start implementing that. The second you get out this video, of course, you're obviously gonna feel a lot better, which means you're gonna perform a lot better in everything that you do. So make sure to take these into consideration after that. But if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing. It really means a lot to me and helps grow the channel. But I'm gonna catch y'all boys in the next video.